Breaking news. This is one of those rare days when headlines don't just knock on the door, they just throw it wide open. Just imagine, in the quiet hours just after the dust settles from the NFL draft, the San Francisco 49ers made a move that not only speaks volumes, but echoes throughout the league. I'll tell you all about it in detail, but first, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to stay informed. Now, on to the news. George Kittle, already a legend in red and gold, has just signed a monumental contract extension. And we're not talking chump change. Kittle is now the highest-paid tight end in NFL history, making a whopping $19.1 million per year. That's right, folks. The energy of that alone could light up Levi's Stadium. But here's the kicker. That wasn't even the only power play. Fast forward to Tuesday afternoon, April 29th. Just when we thought the Niners front office was done with its post-draft negotiations, they dropped another bombshell. DJ Humphries, yes, the former Pro Bowl offensive tackle, is officially a 49ers player. Now, this is a big deal for a number of reasons, and if you're a die-hard fan, brace yourself because this story is deep. Let's first break down the context. Heading into the 2025 NFL Draft, San Francisco had 11 picks. Expectations? Addressing glaring needs on the offensive line, particularly at tackle, center, and left guard. Instead, the Niners executed a draft strategy heavily focused on defense. That's not to say it was a mistake. In fact, their defensive picks were physically imposing, athletically gifted, and built to reignite a pass rush and run defense that had slumped in recent seasons. But offensively, only a handful of names were considered, and only one lineman. That pick? Connor Kobe, 7th round out of Iowa. Solid athlete, good zone fit, but let's not sugarcoat it. Drafting a lone O-lineman late, when the depth chart screams for help, raised eyebrows across the faithful. Trent Williams, a Hall of Fame-bound stalwart, is turning 37 in July. His brilliance is fading under the weight of injuries and age. Behind him, not much. Colton McKivitz is, by most metrics, just average. One injury, and suddenly, your protection collapses like a sandcastle at high tide. Enter DJ Humphries. This isn't just a patch, it's a reinforcement. And sure, some fans will look at his 2024 Pro Football Focus grades and cringe. A rough 44.8 overall, a pass-blocking grade that barely cleared 30, and 3 sacks allowed over just 92 snaps. But let's be real here. The man tore his ACL late. In 2023, while still with the Cardinals, he rushed back into action with the Chiefs during a crisis and looked, understandably, out of rhythm. Now, fully recovered, the 31-year-old veteran is set to bring invaluable experience and versatility. He can play left or right tackle. He's battle-tested. And best of all, he comes with the grit and hunger of someone who's fought his way. Back from injury, this move doesn't just make sense, it was essential. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have faced mounting criticism for ignoring offensive line needs in recent years. It's a philosophy that borders on risky, especially when the NFC arms race is as heated as ever. Look at Philadelphia. Their O-line was already elite, and they still drafted 3 more linemen. That's the gold standard. The Niners, they bet on 1 7th-rounder. And that's where this signing becomes even more vital. DJ Humphries might not be all-pro anymore, but he's a proven player who gives this line flexibility. If Williams goes down, you've got a left tackle. If McKivitz falters, you've got options. Maybe Humphries even outplays him in camp and earns the starting job outright. It's not out of the question. And with offensive linemen harder to find than ever, the fact that San Francisco was able to get someone of his pedigree at this point in the offseason shouldn't be underestimated. Now, here's where the intrigue really picks up. With this move, the 49ers' offensive line depth chart looks a bit less shaky. Trent Williams is still the anchor. Dominic Puni, a rising talent at right guard, looks to be the number 2 in the room. Then you slot in Humphries as potentially the 3rd best lineman. It's not perfect, but it's a step in the right direction. The implications go beyond just depth, though. If Humphries is solid enough, maybe he shifts McKivitz to left guard, where he might actually be a better fit. That opens up another battle in camp, and suddenly, a unit that looked like a liability starts to feel like it has options. That's a win. And it gets even more strategic. For those asking, why now? The answer lies in the NFL's compensatory pick formula. Post-draft signings don't count against that formula, allowing teams to make savvy, veteran additions without hurting their draft capital next year. That's why you're seeing these kinds of moves across the league right now, and why the Niners acted when they did. So now we turn it over to you, the faithful. We've broken down the contract, dissected the strategy, and explored the implications. But what do you think? Was this the smart move the 49ers needed to shore up their offensive line? Or did this front office wait too long to address what could still be a fatal flaw? Drop your thoughts in the comments. As we continue peeling back the layers of this bold move, one thing becomes crystal clear. DJ Humphries isn't just a depth signing. He might be a critical pivot point in how this offensive line evolves heading into the 2025 season. There's a raw tension here, and it's not just about Humphries' knee or snap counts. It's about the philosophy that has underpinned the 49ers' approach to building their trenches, and how this one move could hint at a long-overdue shift. Let's zero in on the reality. Humphries was a first-round pick back in 2015, 24th overall out of Florida. At the time, he was the highest-drafted Gator offensive lineman since Mike Pouncey in 2011. He spent the bulk of his career with the Arizona Cardinals, where he earned the role of team captain multiple times and secured a Pro Bowl nod in 2021. This isn't just a guy with a resume. He's a player who, when healthy, has commanded respect both in the locker room and across the line of scrimmage. Now at 31, post-ACL recovery, he joins a team that desperately needed someone like him. Not a developmental prospect, not a flyer, a veteran with grit, a stabilizer. And while his performance in 2024 with Kansas City was, frankly, rough, that was a man playing on borrowed time and bad legs. The Chiefs dealing with their own O-line. Chaos shoved him back into the fire too soon. What did they do after? Moved elite guard Joe Thuney to left tackle. That tells you everything, but that doesn't erase Humphries' body of work. He's here now, reportedly healthy, and ready to show he's still got gas left in the tank. Let's entertain the possibilities. If he locks down right tackle, McKivitz could slide into a role that suits his skill set better. Left guard, or even backup swing. If he needs more ramp-up time, he's a veteran presence who raises the floor of the room just by being there. Either way, this is a win for San Francisco, and a subtle but powerful rebuttal to critics who've accused Shanahan and Lynch of undervaluing the O-line. And here's where this story touches the nerve of every Niner fan watching. This season could be the final elite chapter for Trent Williams. The whisper of retirement is getting louder with each season, and having a veteran like Humphries in the fold could be part of a quiet succession plan, or at the very least, insurance against the unthinkable. Now, I want to hear from you. Does DJ Humphries give you hope that the O-line will finally get the attention it deserves? Or are you still waiting for that blockbuster move to protect our franchise quarterback? Hit the comments. I'm reading them all. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to stay informed. Go Niners!